I mean, it's kind of like interactive television. Well, it's officially Long John season, and it's been getting down to the 20s now pretty steadily. So right about now, I'm putting on the Long Johns, and I'm not gonna see my bare legs until spring. Hey pigs. You guys are nice and warm or cold? This one likes to get out. They all have their own bowls now. Look at that. No fighting. Four pigs, 4 bowls. I'm coming, Elvira. I'm coming. That's how I gauge on how cold it is how hard is that frozen water and how thick that ice is. Hey pigs. They get separate bowls as well. No use soaking their feet because it'll be hard as a rock. The good news, the sun's coming out. It's gonna warm up some. Also, we're gonna continue working on our high tunnel. If you remember on the last video, everything was going smoothly until I hit a rock. And that pole needs to be in that spot. We definitely hit rock. It's either rock or buried treasure. We have 2 options. Here's one, and let's see if this works. It wasn't that deep, so my thought is I go deep enough, take out the rock, and then I can put that post back in. It's not buried treasure. It's definitely a rock. So now let's do option 2. So we've been having a issue with predators. With a predator, not sure what it is. I think it's a fox, which is bad news. So the girls are this morning, they're moving all our egg-laying chickens. Well, not all of them, but this batch, that fox or whatever it is, keeps bugging this batch of chickens. And this one's only, I think we have 7 here. We plan on ordering more chickens this next spring because we have a lot of older chickens. Plus our new ones keep dwindling down. Constantly moving the animals, that does help with predators. So I had to chop off the bottom piece because I couldn't chop off the top piece, because if you notice, this is a little bit more tapered up here, and that's what the arches of this tunnel is gonna go over. So if I cut this part, then this would be too fat for it to go over. Well, another problem I'm gonna have is that post pounder can be a little bit too much. It does mushroom out this part as you pound it down. I'm gonna either have to cut that top piece off or grind all the way around this. It doesn't do that to all of them, but particularly this one, because it was so hard and it was hitting that rock and it was just flattening this out as I was going. So yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. You know, I can make one big time-lapse type video for this greenhouse build, but I feel like that does not do it justice. No matter how you look at it, building something like this, even if it is a kit, things happen. You hit a rock. I mean, these are real world problems when you're building a high tunnel. I'm still putting in a good 15 inches down in this hole, so that shouldn't be a problem because all these were correct. It's just this one. Hopefully it's just this one. Farmer's friend is sending me a new one of these. This is for pounding on the post so that way they don't mushroom out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try to use this one. Let's see if we can do it. No, that's not gonna work. Now it's just stuck. There we go. This one went in pretty easy. So when that happens, it doesn't mushroom out too much. It flattens out a little bit, but I still think a pole would actually fit over that, no problem. Let's check on these. Let's see. This one doesn't look too bad either. I would say this one, that one's a little flared out. Definitely that one's too much, too flared out. Maybe 4 of them look a bit too much that I might have to grind down. But yeah, as long as it goes pretty smooth in the ground, you're not gonna get that flare out too much. This one with the rock is probably the worst. That's why you gotta pick your battles. Do you wanna pound by hand and maybe you would prevent that flare out from happening? Or do you wanna just grind that top part off? Now on your 19th post that you have to pound, you should be a professional by now. Second pair of hands to put up a pole is helpful, but if you don't have a second pair of hands, the best thing I found is get it started by hand. Depends how soft your ground is. Mine's not very soft. Just kind of twist it into the ground just to get it to where it can hold. If you have to, use a post pounder. A post pipe level, just to make sure it's straight. You want to tap it down a little bit, so that way you get your level. All right, looks like we hit another rock. That much of still in the ground. This one's deeper than the last one. How bad do you want a high tunnel? This is not coming out. I still got a good ways of going. Very compacted clay soil. So let's go to the comments to get some help. One comment I saw was pour water down the pipe. See, maybe if I pour water down the pipe, that'll loosen it up. Or it's probably just making a mess. All right, so another comment I saw was use my T-post puller and a chain, because the T-post puller is a little bit too tall because this is kind of low. Let's put a screw in it because we need something to grab onto. It's too smooth. Come on. Come on, baby. Yeah. Come on, baby. Yeah. Yeah. And it didn't bend. Oh, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you, comments. Man, sometimes it pays to listen to you guys. What do you know? We're gonna call that section, let's phone a YouTube viewer, because sometimes I need some help, guys. There you go. Just using the same hole there that I pulled it out of. Just shorten it. And it should be plenty in. All right, last pull is finally in. Seriously, I was kind of hoping that I would finish the other side today. This is looking good. Of course, everything takes longer than usual, you know? You know what I mean? If you count hours, this probably took maybe about 12 hours for me. If you think about it, we're doing 3 things at once, which we're pounding down the poles, we are putting down the baseboards, and we're laying this fabric down. And we're screwing the baseboards to the poles. Thank you guys in the comment section for having my back. I was hoping I would have the other one done today. That was the plan. This part right here, this is kind of like important, but it's not the most funnest. Hopefully we can get back at it tomorrow and I'll have a better understanding of what's going down. And it really matters depending on if there's like a random rock or buried treasure in the ground. That's gonna hold me up on continuing to get a good momentum going. But hopefully this other side will cooperate. Every time I talk to you guys on the camera, these pigs think I'm talking to them. I'm coming.